The question is, would you rather have unlimited first-class international tickets forever, or never have to pay for food in restaurants ever again for the rest of your life?
Never have to pay for food in restaurants.
Interesting.
100%.
Really?
Let me tell you, business first class, yeah?
Yeah.
Overrated.
Right. I'm talking, no, Louis, it's not just like, you know, a little one-off like session in first class. I'm talking for the rest of your life, unlimited international first class travel, or never have to pay for food in restaurants again for the rest of your life.
Never have to pay for food in restaurants. This is where you're not good at business, yeah? How often are you going to fly?
Well, a lot fucking more because I've got the free flights.
No, yeah, because you're single and you're on your own, you've got no friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Like so you
You've got a family, you've resigned to a boring life.
No. What are you going to do? Fly here, fly there. Where's your business going? Your run club. Your run club coming with you?
Yeah.
To Billy Barley?
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're here. That shows how much you care about your run club. Food is every day, money every day, yeah? So if I could eat £100 a day, it's way more money saved than an international flight. And first class, business class, it is comfortable, don't you know? It's slightly overrated. So economy is at £500.
Well, I've never flown first class. I've only ever flown business, right?
It's the same as business, but with better service.
Okay, sorry. Have you seen Qatar Airways with the actual bathrooms in the air?
So that's a little bit different. Qatar's, like...
Okay, so now you're changing your mind.
I'm not changing my mind. Free food.
No, sorry, Louis, think about it, right? A meal, 100 quid, right? Here and there, 100 quid, right? A first class flight to like Australia, for example, is like £20,000. You never have to pay for like flying ever again. Food, going to a restaurant, like, I don't mind spending £100 here and £100 there. Like one international first class flight, that's your whole restaurant budget for a year, and you can go on as many of those in a year as you like.
No, I don't need to fly first class. Yeah. So you're taking a year of joy, of nice food wherever you want, never have to think about the price, for 8 hours of joy.
Yeah, can't wait to see your body at the end of a year of never eating at home because you've eaten out.
No, I'll just go to eat loads of healthy things. I can't wait to see your business when you take the run club to Bali. I'm flying twice a year. I got stuff to do, mate. Businesses to build, kids to go to school.
I never said at what point in your life.
No. It's not. You're not flying enough.
See, I really went back and forth in my head about this because I was like, wouldn't it be so nice to just like waltz into any restaurant and not have to pay anything for the rest of your life? But I was like, that parting with that money doesn't feel as like soul destroying as like parting with money for a first class ticket. Like,
but also like you could get very accustomed to flying first class. So like the fourth time, you'd be a bit like, oh,
right.
But food always gets better.
Well, it's always new restaurants.
Exactly. And every time you go like, oh, it's a bit nicer. Like you never go to, there's so many more restaurants. First class flying after the fourth time, you'd be like, this is... Well,
also, think how much money, disposable money, you would have left to pay for these restaurants if you didn't have to pay for flights again.
No. You keep saying it like, I would pay for that. I wouldn't pay for that. So I wouldn't have that disposable income. I just fly economy. You're saying like I'm going to fly first class anyway.
Even economy these days is crippling.
It's not crippling. It can be if you're flying all here, there, and everywhere, but twice, 3 times a year, I'm going restaurants, man. I'm dining, living it. Food is where it's at.
It's out for jury. Is that the expression? Out for jury?
Well, it is now. Right. First question?
Yeah, go on then.
Right, let's go. So I've been playing Wordle, as we know.
Yeah.
As we go back and forth.
Wait, no, but since we last filmed this podcast, I said to you, do you play Connections? Do you play Strands? Do you play the crossword? And you said no to all 3. Now I'm getting it through on the daily from you. Yeah. So I've totally got you.
But I really believe it's helped my reading.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
let's try.
Let's try.
Well, pressure's on now, so it's probably going to go wrong. I've always worked out to lose weight and change my appearance, but I'm starting to feel burned out and less motivated. I want to shift my mindset to view exercise something as something.
That was like 6 words in one that you said. That was impressive.
It got me.
You really did. I was literally thinking
right.
he's never read so fast in his life.
Well,
we're gonna have to start again now because I've completely forgotten the question. Slow down, breathe. It's okay.
I've always worked out to lose weight.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna need a bit more vocal energy because this could go on Instagram.
I've always worked out to lose weight and change my appearance, but I'm starting to feel burned out and less motivated. I want to shift my mindset to view exercise as something that benefits my overall health rather than just aesthetics, but it's impacting my self-esteem. Any tips?
I've got a lot of tips for you, but I feel like I'm suffering from the same thing as this person right now in my training because I've always tried to be bigger because I was such a twink when I was younger. So imagine like for the past 10 years, I've just been like, naturally very skinny, working twice as hard as other people to put on this muscle mass, to now suddenly go, I actually don't want to be this big anymore. I want to sort of like completely move away from bodybuilding and go more into sort of like performance-based training, running. I want to be able to run a marathon without feeling so heavy, because running for me can feel quite restrictive sometimes if I've done legs that week and then some deadlifts or something like that, right? So, but then what he, them are saying about self-esteem is that trying to get that out of my head that I don't need to be big and that I'm okay if I'm slimmer is actually really hard. Like I look in the mirror and I stand on the scale and I'm going, oh my God, all these years of work, the weight's going down. So I totally get it. It's very hard to detach a goal that you've maybe had for many, many, many years to then suddenly sort of like shift into something else, especially when you know the way the world works. We work in fitness, right? We know people scrutinize our bodies on Instagram. And if you don't look lean and if you don't have a 6-pack and if you don't have this, they don't think you know as much about fitness as somebody that does. So, me feeling slim again is a point of tension for me.
I think it's because like the reason you get into fitness originally, if it comes from an anxiety, that anxiety sometimes never leaves you. That's why a lot of people have body dysmorphia. So you getting into fitness because you wanted to be more masculine and bigger, that anxiety was built up for years of feeling too slim, years of feeling in a certain way. So you've been conditioned to feel a certain way. So actually now when you're getting too big and your neck's as big as your head, that you can't see it. So you're going, I still need to get bigger. Am I getting skinny? When actually anyone else look at you would go, you've got way more muscle than you need. Like you've got a perfect body. You've got great muscle, but you don't see it because we have body dysmorphia from all the old anxieties. That's why people that get into fitness to lose weight, they lose weight. They get themselves to a point where, like, if you did a panel of 100 people and said, do you think this person needs to lose weight? 99.9 of them would say no, but the 0.1 would be you that says yes, that you still feed it in yourself.
Do you think that sort of the view of ourselves is also shaped by how we view others? So if I'm
100%.
So if I'm looking at somebody online and I'm going, that is a body that I would want, then if I am sort of not exhibiting that body, I'm almost shaming myself into thinking that my body's sort of like not good enough.
Well, we just don't see what we got. And do you know how I know that? It's because if you ever been like in an amazing shape, and then you've lost it or stopped going gym, put a bit of weight on, whatever, and you look back at a photo and go, oh my God, I was in such good shape then. But at the time, you didn't feel it.
Yeah.
So you don't see what you've got. It's very easy to look at someone and go, oh my God, they have an amazing body. Some people are looking at you doing the same. Like people look at your body and go, you've got an amazing body. People look at me like when I was competing, like, oh my God, you were so ripped. It's like, you just don't see it. When I competed, I was driving my body weight down and down and down. I didn't even know I was ripped. You don't even see it. You just don't, because you're so the goalpost is moving further in front of you. Now, as you get older, what I've realized is your priorities change. You stop competing in a market that doesn't serve you as much anymore.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where you go, you have to be more realistic and you have to look around you and go, well, I'm 40 years old now and whether I can touch my toes or whether I can run a marathon or whether I can, strength train 3 times a week without getting an injury is more of a priority. And you start to shift what matters to you. Having a 6-pack isn't going to change your life. And when you're in your 20s, maybe early 30s as well, you truly believe it will. And it does for some that become fitness influencers. But if you have a regular 9-to-5 job and your goal is to have a 6-pack to improve your life, it won't.
So let's say I have decided, right, I'm going to compete in high rocks next year, right? That is predominantly cardio. There's not much strength to it, right? But my whole life I've been bodybuilding or going to the gym and trying to get bigger. I want to compete in the high rocks. I know that I'm going to lose weight doing that. What do I do to then sort of go, how do I overcome that tension between looking like this, but from a performance perspective, wanting this?
You have to have a goal, and that goal that you have to be really determined on getting that goal, and there has to be some sacrifice that comes with it. If you're going to run a marathon and your goal is to run a marathon, you need to know that you're not going to be able to strength train as much. You're not going to be able to, have as much muscle as you could if you were doing bodybuilding 5 times a week, because your goal is to run that marathon. But once that marathon is out of the way, you can go back to bodybuilding and build that back up again, and that will shift your goal back. So you have to be okay with your body changing. A woman gets pregnant and the body changes for 9 months and then changes back. You have to be okay with your body changing. That's what it was meant to do. So when you have a goal that to run a race or to do a high rocks or to be a bodybuilding or be a strongman, whatever it is, your body's going to adapt and it's going to change to certain things. And you've got to be okay with that because life's too short to be worrying about what you look like all the time. Trust me, I've been there. It is exhausting.
Well, yeah, because you were competing, right? So you were, and competing in a bodybuilding competition means you need to have aesthetically the best body on that stage, which means the lowest amount of body fat percentage and the tightest in at the waist and the biggest muscles, right? It's a very specific aesthetic. Then you, who's been trying to chip away at body fat and get that as low as possible, suddenly then goes, okay, now the goal's changed. You have to then gain weight, whether intentionally or not. You have to let that go. Psychologically, knowing how other people perceive bodies and how we champion those 6-packs and stuff like that, to then suddenly go, going to lose that now. Like, does that mentally impact you? Because I'm coming from the other side. When I, am now on my weight loss journey, that for me, I will get to 6-pack. I'll get even leaner, basically, because that's my natural body type, right? So you're the other side. You have to really work to get lean, and then you have to gain body fat. So what's that like?
Well, it's a nightmare because you constantly feel like you're dieting to stay lean. But as you get older, again, you realize it's not sustainable to be under 10% all year round. And that's why you don't see the average person running around over 10%.
If you have certain body types, like for me, it would be normal to.
Yeah, if your genetics make you naturally ripped, you're absolutely fine. But it's not sustainable for the average person to be under 10%. Like, it just isn't. Same for a woman, it's not sustainable for you to be under like 15%.
Okay, fine. But I'm talking about you personally. What was that psychological journey for you, putting on weight and losing that body that you were competing with?
You've got to understand there's a dark side to this, yeah? Me competing meant I had to take certain things to be in that market, yeah? PEDs. Now, So I know I can get my body in this shape. Then when you say, right, I don't want this lifestyle, I'm going to come off all them PDs. I'm now going to live a natural lifestyle. You need to know that your expectations of what your body's going to look like is different to what you can achieve with PDs.
Okay.
It has to change. So mentally, it is a real big shift, and you're constantly battling with, well, I could actually have a six-pack all year round if I was to take X, Y, and Z, yeah? But you don't want to take that. So therefore, you need to be like, okay, what is the body type that I'm going to be okay with? And that is around 11, 12%, someone that can lift heavy weights, someone that can take their top off and feel comfortable and run a higher rocks if they wanted to. Once you're okay with that, you've got to really work on lowering your expectations of what you think you can achieve and be really okay with this. You're holding a little bit more body fat, not being shredded all year round. And it takes a lot of work mentally because you want to be the best, you want to be in shape. But if you work on it properly, you have a more realistic mindset and look around you and go, okay, what do other nearly 40-year-old men that have kids look like? Not many look like me. So I'm actually looking pretty decent. And you've got to really work on like self-love and really work on like taking your top off when you don't want to and kind of looking at yourself and being like, actually you look decent, and talking to yourself in a different language. I could bully myself and go, well, you wasn't ripped as you was before. You don't look like you do when you're on Instagram 6 months ago. So I'm going to bully myself. But what I do is work on, you look good for your age. You're training well. You're successful. And you got to really work on self-love. And even now, going back to the question, like, I'm starting to think about life later on. I'm starting to think about, okay, I want to be able to, my daughter started doing jiu-jitsu. I want to be able to do jiu-jitsu. But at the minute, I don't have the flexibility probably in my legs because of all the bodybuilding. You start thinking differently. And I think you mature along your fitness journey. And your mindset does start to change.
So I think there's a difference then between letting yourself go and shifting the goal. Because when you shift the goal, yes, you may feel a little bit self-conscious that you're carrying more body fat than you have done in the past, or you're skinnier than you have been in the past, but you're also, I can now run a fucking half marathon, or I am now, I can do my 1,000 meter runs that they do in High Rocks in this time instead of that time. So you've got something else to hold on to. So I guess it's like, you just hold on to different things. You feel proud about different aspects of your body from a more performance standpoint than solely an aesthetic standpoint. I think culturally, we are going through a massive shift at the minute where we are seeing exercise more as medicine rather than solely aesthetics. I think in the, it's the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, it was so aesthetics based. It was, you work out to look good. You work out to get ripped, or you work out to look skinny if you're a woman. It was very much that for a long time. And I think that we've still got the hangover from that. But I actually feel like now, sometimes I feel really cringe posting about fitness content online, because even though people want to know how to lose weight, how to gain muscle, it still gets so much engagement online, but it feels for me dated. It's like, that's not the culture anymore. The culture is now work out to feel good, and any aesthetic change comes as a byproduct, right? So the culture is changing, I feel, just from having observed it 10 years ago to now. But I don't think that the way that we view ourselves and the way that we maybe view and talk about and judge other people's bodies is changing fast enough. And I think that's why us moving the goalpost, in terms of, performance over aesthetics, still has this tension that exists.
And also, you just need to work on your habits, yeah? Now, we keep talking about, like, if you do high rocks, you're going to lose some size. It's only going to be small if you do still concentrate on your nutrition. You've got to remember, nutrition is what is fluctuating your body fat up and down. Your training is what is determine like your performance, your strength, your cardiovascular. So whatever your goal is performance-wise, you can still control your body aesthetically through nutrition.
Yeah.
So if you want to start doing a marathon, but you want to keep your muscle, you're going to have to up your protein, you have to have loads of carbohydrates, you're going to have to, do certain things to do that. So you can still keep these physiques. But the main thing is, no matter what you do, is if you keep a solid foundation of habits, that's why me and you will always probably be in decent shape. You're going to train 3 times a week, whatever that is. You're going to try and eat whole foods as much as you can. You're going to maybe track your food quite often to know that you're having enough protein. You're quite active. You're going to get your steps in. You might practice some yoga. And as long as you've got these foundation of these habits, you will always be okay. And that is long-term success. Short-term success is doing things that are not sustainable for a long period of time. Long-term success is these are now habits. And I'm in this, no matter what age, no matter what I'm doing, no matter what my performance goes, I have these habits daily. So my body weight will shift up and down because sometimes I might eat out a little bit more or sometimes I might eat a bit more chocolate. But at the end of the day, this bank of habits is keeping me in pretty decent nick long term. And if you just stick to that, you'll be absolutely fine. You diet, it's only when you fall off your habits where you become out of shape.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to eat 4,000 calories again every day.
I don't know why you'd want to run a marathon though.
Well, I don't want to run a marathon. I want to do a half marathon. I genuinely think my legs, I think that I'm a strong runner, physically, sorry, not physically, what's the word when it's your breathing?
I don't know, but why don't we do a high rocks together?
Okay.
Hot and high rocks.
Well, I'm going to do high rocks with Gaines next year.
Oh, I'm not invited.
No, I'll do a partner one with you, but...
There's a partner one in Paris.
When?
I think it's February.
Okay, I will do that with you, but the problem is you live in fucking St Albans and I'm not travelling all the way up there.
We don't have to train partners.
Yeah, we do. We have to hold hands.
No. Just be good at running, just be good at the events. We turn up. We don't even need to talk. I'm doing it with Gaines.
I am. I'm going to get all the girlies to do it next year.
You've just segregated me from all.
So, sweetheart, you're on this podcast. So.
That you've called Losses and Gains.
Yeah. Not My Body Mentor.
Sponsored by My Body Mentor. Right, next question quickly.
Go on then.
I've been single for 12 years. Is it gay culture or is it me? I like to think I'm a good catch. You wrote this question, didn't you? This is you.
No, but it fucking resonated.
You wrote into me.
Honey, I was 10 years, not 12 years. Thank you very much.
You had to change it a little bit so I didn't clock off. That was you.
It was not me. It's the case for a lot of us, okay? No, I mean, yeah, that resonated with me. Look how wet I am.
Well, I can tell you one reason why you're single.
Why?
Because of this.
Because I'm sweating, sitting down, not moving, pouring with sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I was 10 years single before the relationship that just ended after a year. No, I was single again for another 10 years. Is it gay culture or is it me? Okay. From my experience, it's you. What?
Speaking to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm literally I'm speaking about myself. People, look, before I say this, I am cisgendered. I am white. I am masculine presenting. I have good body genetics. That means that I am athletically built. I get that I have a level of privilege. However, the gay community has its flaws, okay? The gay community is not doing that to you. You are doing it to yourself. For example, I had a bad relationship with men, with partying, with substances, right? That was my fucking choice. Yes, I could... the gay community was presenting me with these opportunities, right? I was the one seizing them. My friends weren't. My friends were dipping their toe in and then they were going home and they were going to sleep and, turning up to work absolutely fine. I was making the choices, and so I do feel like, yes, the gay community can, have its wicked ways with you, okay? It's your responsibility to pull yourself the fuck out of it and not let it become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because self-fulfilling prophecies can be really damaging for you. If you are that person that's going, I'm single because the gay community, full stop. No. You're single because of that fucking attitude. Yes, people would have hurt you in the past. Yes, you would have had bad experiences in the past. Every single person in the gay community is not the same. Like, you can find a boyfriend. Not everybody's. Other people want boyfriends as well, right? So it's like, really, like, I challenge you, person that's written it in, to look at what limiting beliefs you have about the gay community and second guess them. Think again. You know, where can you think of a time when that belief wasn't true? You know, think of it like that. Oh, actually, yeah, because that guy was actually really nice and he was emotionally available. But then, well, he then had to move countries. Okay, well, great. Well, there's an example of a guy that you could have been in a relationship with. There are other people out there. You know, I remember I had this conversation with my therapist where he was like, are you open to being in a relationship? And I was like, yeah. I was like, you know, my party days are over. I've, you know, been in therapy now for sort of like 3 years. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm ready to be in a relationship. And then as the conversation, yeah, turns out I wasn't.
Our survey says,
yeah, literally. I realized that actually I was only open to being in a relationship with a very, you know, ideal scenario. They need to be the creative industry. I need to be really interested by their job. Maybe I can help them in some way and get some fulfillment from like being like a dream team together. Or, you know, I and whether that was conscious or subconscious, I don't know. But I realized that I was like, yes, I am open to being in a relationship, but they have to have a job in this kind of field. And then my therapist went to me, okay, what if they have a job that you find boring, but actually they can give you everything that you need emotionally? And I was like, he was like, well, what if they're, I don't know, I'm going to offend some people with some really boring. What if they're a data analyst for a pharmaceutical company, you know, but that means that they don't travel for work, they're home, they have time for you, and they can give you everything that you need emotionally. And I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of true actually. And then literally I would say about 4 weeks later, I met my ex when he told me what his job was. And it's going to sound super shallow, but it didn't give me the ick because I was like, I don't know, like just that conversation had opened me up a little bit more. And he ended up being my boyfriend, even though he had a job that, you know, for me was just, I don't think
you can offend people there. I think that's the you problem.
Yeah.
That makes your life more difficult.
Yeah.
That you would think that a certain job type could, you know, make a person. That's something that you have to deal with. You know what I mean? Like when you're looking for a partner, but that shouldn't be the case. Do you think it's harder to settle down? You know, I look at the gay community and it's like, it you know, as a straight male, it is quite complicated. You know, like it is a little bit with you know, men and women as well, but it's a bit easier to. The basic questions are: do you want to settle down? Do you want kids? Do you want to get married? Like, I feel like with the gay community, there's quite a lot that makes.
Do you want an open relationship? Are you monogamous?
Yeah, like there's a lot that, you know, you need to figure out. So actually,
are you top? Are you bottom? Are you side?
Yeah. All these things, like you need to. The matching process is a little bit more difficult because you can meet the guy of your dreams in like how they look, and then have a conversation with them, and they could just not match with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, yes, 100%. If you think about, you know, how many straight people there are in the world compared to how many gay people there are, and then you think of those gay people, let's say roughly 50% are more top and 50% are more bottom, whatever, therefore you've only got half of the gay community. Yep. And then there's location. Like if you want somebody that's physically available, that reduces it. Then you need somebody that's emotionally available. Okay, reduces it again. And then does this person want a monogamous relationship, or would they want an open relationship? What's my values there, and what's my belief system there around relationships? So it could narrow down again. So yeah, like I would say that it's harder for gay people to meet a partner than it is straight people. But I think then where we trip ourselves up even more, again, just from my, experience, is that we know what we want. We don't necessarily know what we need. And when I figured out what I needed and let go a little bit of what I wanted, that's when things started to change for me, and I started to be way more open to being in a relationship, because I realized that thing doesn't matter, that thing doesn't matter, that thing doesn't matter. Actually, that does. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, my ex and I did break up after 14 months, but that was 14 months of a very healthy, communicative, my first relationship, my longest ever relationship. And it was lovely, and it was because this person that I had chosen was so kind, so reciprocal, so communicative, all of these things that I actually needed emotionally. Not all of the things, because obviously we did end up breaking up for various reasons, but, he had these things that I'd never looked for in guys in the past. I had dated guys and, it was the classic situationships, getting fucked over, me liking them more than the others, me thinking that anxiety was me liking them when it wasn't. It was, sometimes infatuation is just anxiety because you're being treated poorly, right? And so when I first started dating my ex, it was so calm. It was so easy. It felt so safe because I was looking for different things than I had done in the past. And, I have a list on my phone now of non-negotiables. Things that, and there's like 10 things on there. Like it's not, I don't expect to get all of them. You're never going to find the perfect person. But what it meant is that when I was dating him, I was going in with intentional questions. It wasn't like a fucking interview, but like I would just drop a few little questions here and there to find out what is his perspective on this. Is this guy actually emotionally available? What does he want from life? What is he capable of being a good boyfriend and everything? And he was very capable of being a good boyfriend. And I think that sometimes we try and find somebody that fits all the things that we want: the body, the job, the dick, the money, all of that kind of stuff, which helps. Sometimes you've got to my therapist is like, put big dick on your list of non-negotiables. It's like, really? He was like, yeah, if you love it, put it down, it's important to you. I was like, okay. Sometimes those things are important, but you cannot neglect the things that you actually need in a partner, the foundational things that build a good relationship. And they're the things that you need to suss out early in the dating.
But do you also think, like, if you're straight, you've always been allowed to have a relationship, yeah? But if you're gay, for many, many years, that wasn't allowed. Marriage has only recently been allowed. Do you think there is something that, like society hasn't made it easy for people to, gays, lesbians, anyone in the LGBTQ plus community to have a relationship?
Well, then you're going like way deeper. You're going down like.
But you know what I mean. But that is in a lot of
shame.
But that is in a lot of people from like generations of things that have happened that it sometimes feels it's difficult for you. We don't know why it's difficult for you because society has made it pretty difficult by not allowing it.
Yeah, and I also think that I like to observe the way that people comment on gay media online. I go into the comments because I love looking at how gay people respond to a lot of the media that's sort of like put out there. And there was one post where it was about gay open relationships. And loads of people were commenting like, I think it's just gay people. I think it's disgusting that we had to fight so long for gay marriage and then people are just in open relationships and ruining it for a... I was like, what are you fucking talking about? So there's even like stigma against your ideal relationship as a gay person within the gay community. So
it's what I mean by like it can be complicated, you know, like it is complicated. It's complex.
But, you know, to wrap up this question, are you actually making yourself available to being in a relationship? If you aren't on Tinder and Hinge and those other like, you know, serious dating apps, and you are 12 years single but you want a relationship, get on the fucking apps. Nobody likes them. It is a fucking job. It is a task. If you want a relationship, the most like data and statistics show you're most likely to find that person on a dating app.
Yeah.
So get on the dating apps. And I don't mean get on the dating apps and have your notifications turned off and, you know, get back to somebody a week later. You're not emotionally available if you're doing that.
It's got to be active.
It's got to be a job. And you're going to kiss a few frogs and you're going to be really disappointed. You're going to have to go on a lot of dates, but it's got to be intentional. And you've got to understand, what do I need? What are the things that I want that I'm willing to sort of like let go of if somebody has those emotional needs? And it's got to be a full-time job if you want a relationship. And then once you get into a relationship, girly pops, it is work.
Listen, I'm married, yeah.
Oh
and
my
people
gosh,
look.
sounds awful.
That's why you're single. People look at your relationship online and just assume that, you know, I'm married, I've got 2 kids, and it's happy families. When I tell you it is work, it is work. I finished work at 7:30 on Friday. 8 p.m. we had couples therapy. I finished work then on my second work block at 12 on Tuesday, straight into my therapy. My wife has her therapy. This is all to understand each other. And the stuff that you go, you know, people don't have the privilege of being able to
do therapy
with the right person.
Yeah.
So, you know, the stuff that we have to go through, how we speak to each other, sex, which you don't rarely speak about. Like, that's not a conversation that many people are comfortable with, but to do it in therapy, it's you know, you can take it, but it's work. It's constant work. Everything is just work. And if you think you're going to get in a relationship, it's going to be perfect from day one, you're wrong. Like, it needs work for years and years. A relationship needs 2 people always putting in work to that relationship, like a friendship. If I don't call you or, you know, ask you if you want to go for a coffee or whatever, we ain't going to be friends. Relationships need work, and people are so quick to just go, oh, this ain't working for me, I'm off, or you've pissed me off today, I don't want to speak to you, blocked, and whatever. That's so simple, but actually, when you found someone that suits your, that hits with your values, and you know deep down they're the right person, you've got to be willing to put in the hours, like building a business. It takes, you know, we have arguments all the time, but at the end of the day, we're married. We put the work in. It's hard.
What I also found as well, just to last note, the thing, I worked through things when I was single and in therapy to be ready for a relationship. And then I got into a relationship and it unlocked a whole new set of things that I needed to work on, such as...
That's the onion.
This person's 12 years single, I was 10 years single. The independence that you build up in 10 years of being single, to let go of that independence is very, very challenging.
Selfishness.
Oh, I'm so selfish.
Just selfishness we've got to get rid of.
All right, pump and dump. Okay, I've reduced this to 5, by the way, because, you know, I was like, pump and dump, 10 seconds or less. It's never 10 seconds or less, so I've reduced it, okay? Number 1, chanting in yoga classes.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a basic yoga guy. Like, I like the basics of yoga, and you know, I see some mad yoga shit online. But for me personally, it's a dump. But you know, I don't want the yogis coming for me. Like, do your thing.
I know. Listen, I can get behind an right? Fine. I once went to a yoga class. They gave us like sheets of paper, multiple pages, and we had to sit there while she played like a xylophone or some kind of, organ at the front of the class, and I had to talk in...
Mommy,
Yeah, I was like, girly pots, I'm here to stretch my fucking hamstrings. Let's get on with this.
Yeah,
No.
There's layers to yoga. There's stretching your hamstrings, and then there's emotional release. Like, it can get wild. To tell you, my biggest ick is the yogis that come onto social media. Hello, welcome. And they do this like really calm.
The yoga voice.
That for me, it's just like, just speak normal.
Speak normally, speak to me like a human, and also play some good music in the class, because I used to do yoga with Melody. Do you remember Melody?
Yeah.
Oh, legend. And she used to play like Afro house, and it was to the beat, and it was like a power yoga, and I was like, yeah, this feels like a workout, but also I feel like amazing afterwards. I've left some yoga classes where they tried to make it like too spiritual, and I'm just like, I feel unspiritual. I feel angry towards you because I didn't get what I wanted from that class. Like, I want to stretch my hamstrings.
There's layers to yoga.
Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, maybe I'm not cut out for yoga. Sorry if that offended anyone that's into yoga. 2, mouth taping.
Oh, is that the nasal breathing through?
Breathing through your nose while you sleep.
Really? Okay. Dump.
Why?
And do you know what other things are dump? These things.
These little things on the nose. No, pull out your nose.
Oh, listen.
Alex Hormozy, again.
Listen.
He's a recurring theme in these podcasts.
This is the problem with the fitness industry, yeah? Look at the top of the sport. Ronaldo. Yeah. Messi, like boxers that are like just the top of the sport. Do you see them running on the pitch with nose clips like this? No, you don't. Yet you're running your 5K with it on.
Yeah.
Thinking it's helping. Listen, it might help you breathing, but no. And you know who you see wearing them?
Yeah.
Straight white males.
Yeah, influencers. Yeah.
That have just followed the influencers. That you're just like, mate, what's going on?
Yeah, it's trend.
You all look the same. Backwards hat, one of them.
Bloody ice baths. I can't look at another video of somebody getting into an ice bath. I don't care how good it is
that
for your
phase
health.
is gone now. But ice baths are good for you.
Yeah, but
you don't need to show it. But these...
It's too late now. I'm never having an ice bath, because now I've given myself the ick thinking about me identifying with those people that jumped in one every single day on social media for attention. They literally jumped straight back out as well. 3, protein shake, where protein shake's nowhere near the time of your workout.
Yeah.
Pump.
Yeah,
I get that question all the time.
Yeah, it's just a supplement. It's like vitamin C. It's like iron tablets. It's just a supplement for more protein. Does nothing pre, post, during workout.
Have it whenever you want. 4, sleep tracking apps like Sleep Cycle.
Listen, again, it's a dump for me.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Why?
When I wake up in the morning,
you
had a bad sleep?
Yeah.
Thanks. Still got to do the shit I got to do.
Yeah. Great. Well, this is the thing with Whoop, and why I've never got a Whoop is because anybody that I know that's had a Whoop has gone, it was great until I was constantly in the red and there was nothing I could do about it, and then suddenly all this data was actually stressing me out.
Yeah. There is one sleep thing that I've seen. It's like a mattress topper. Yeah. And it controls your temperature to give you the perfect sleep.
Oh, I'd be in for that.
And if you're with a partner, you don't need to worry about.
Thanks.
The one side it can do warm, one side it can do cold, depending on what you like.
Okay.
And so basically gets you to the perfect temperature for the perfect sleep.
Okay, that is cunt, because I, in the dead of winter, will still sleep with the window open because I need the room to be cool. Freezing.
Yeah, my wife is wrapped up and heating on full blast.
Oh,
I know.
God.
I'm looking at the bill like, oh.
That's right. When I used to have to share a bed with my ex, I used to be like, don't touch me. You're on that side of the bed. I'm on this side
healthy
of the bed.
relationships are ones that go to bed and don't have to touch each other.
Well, I thought a healthy relationship was we don't have to live in the same house. We can live round the corner from each other and just see us a few times a week. But
that's why you're single.
That's why I'm single, yeah. 5, personalised vitamin subscription companies.
Pump. Yeah.
Okay.
The health industry's gone so far now, and I think it's so good. And actually, your multivitamins that you used to buy, that people are realising the body doesn't actually absorb them that well. You're now getting tests that you can basically, I can't remember what the name is, but anyway, you can get a test to see what vitamins your body doesn't absorb very well. So like your body might need more iron than me, but it might not need as much vitamin C as me because it absorbs it better. So therefore, these personalized vitamins will give your body what you need.
Yeah.
Now, everyone's body's completely different. So the normal vitamin is not suitable for everyone. Same as the amount of hormones you need in different levels. So everyone is completely unique, and we've got enough data and science behind it now that you can see what you need. So I think it's great. Do they work? I'm not sure. I've actually not done personalized vitamins.
Me neither. But I always used to be very confused why I would get so tired in the afternoons, like heavy eyes, lose focus, probably have a nap, just not in a good headspace in the afternoons. And I used to be like, why? Like, I eat well, I don't wake up too early, and I just couldn't figure out why I was like that. Anyway, I've recently started just having electrolytes in my water as I drink throughout the day.
Change the game.
Oh my God.
Dehydrated, yeah.
Literally just...
Change the game.
Yeah.
Electrolytes are...
I don't think I need to take a vitamin supplement ever again for the rest of my life.
I have a routine in the morning that is electrolytes.
Yeah.
750 mils of mineral water.
Yeah.
6 grams of creatine.
Yeah.
Because I always just do.
In the water?
Yeah, in the water with the electrolytes. 10 grams of collagen.
Okay.
My cod liver oil tablets because I need it because I'm getting old in my joints. That every morning sorts me out.
Yeah.
Skin perfect, creatine ready for trading, electrolytes in the body.
Perfect.
Well, coming up to 40 and saying I've got better skin than you.
You're 37.
Yeah.
That's
38. Coming up to 40.
Well, it's a bit of a stretch. You're not 39.
But you look 40.
I do look 40. I literally look the same age as you, which is embarrassing. So maybe I should get some collagen in my mineral water.
There you go. Without plugging it, I mean, because, we don't have any sponsorship. Have you, the website Health?
No.
HEALF.com.
Health. Okay. No. Why? What's on it?
It's everything. It's got all the health supplements under one website. You can get obsessed with it.
But is it their own brand?
All the brands. It's an Amazon of every March on liquid.
But how do you know what to get though? That's the problem.
Well, you don't. That's why you order it all. Go skin.
Yeah.
But you just need it all. Like you can. That's the problem with the market. You can get it all.
Yeah. People don't know what they need.
No.
Which is why you need that biohacking thing where you need to do a test that they go, this is what you are deficient in and what you need.
It's expensive, though, isn't it? We're not rich.
All right. Well, that's the end of another episode. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. I'm too scared to look in the camera now because I know I'm going to do something weird.
Well, you've already done that.
Okay, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, Losses and Gains. And we've got an Instagram now and a TikTok. And we're starting to go viral on some of our reels.
I mean, not the reels. I met Clemmy today, who's a friend of ours, and she was like, I did think the bell end clip was a bit crude.
I was like,
of course you did.
I don't think you're our demographic, sweetheart.
I was like, of course you did.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.